Trusting Rust was crazy fun. The way it works is you spawn in a torture chamber, and with your spirit crushed, they then crush your body as well.
Oh wait, the lift is up.
Where's the lift? What does this mean?
Those people are all gonna get squished.
I'm grounded!
It's gonna be great. Like 10 minutes of build time.
People have already died. People have already died.
Then they mold the now spiritless dead flesh into a brethren moon, a twitching, squealing monstrosity hell-bent on taking over planet Earth and devouring all life. Some manage to escape the singularity and are forced to build crude shelter under hellish conditions.
I can't even place.
I think it's gonna crash again.
And you happy you chose to build.
It's not lagging like so much, but it's lagging enough to like whenever I speed build, I switch my building plan and it lags to where like something else. Like I want to place a triangle and it'll be a square. Oh my!
What's the thing? Like,
I cannot fathom what drove H-June to do this. What kind of anger and vengeance must have festered in his once pure heart. But of the original hundreds of thousands, only about 200 remained. And as competition grew over what scarce resources were left, so began the wars of extinction.
I need sort of
No problem.
base covering,
They're
so.
pushing up.
I think there's some in one of the...
They're pushing up hard.
I'll go and get it in a sec.
Alright, we're getting rocketed.
In.
I downed a guy in shell.
Nice. Okay.
But we didn't have to worry, because we had this. And it did survive an almost 20-minute raid by the strongest team in the competition, and they weren't even close. If this base was a cake, the recipe would be 1 part defensibility, 1 part resilience, and 1 part tricksiness. But the design is so simple that after a quick tour you'll already know precisely how to build it. Guaranteed. That said, we should start with the Trusting Rust competition rules, as they dictated the design goals. So, in Trusting Rust, you're only allowed 1 single TC, which must be accessible through doors and or ladder hatches. So that already precludes any kind of TC bunker. You can't hide the TC in the honeycomb. You just need some other tricksy solution. And that's why we went for a large footprint, with what is essentially 4 bases all connected into one. Oh, and the TC wasn't in any of them. You'll see. Now also it's in the rules that you have just 1 hour to build, which is why the footprint is so simple and indeed the base itself as well. Here, let's do a quick tour. So we enter the compound by one of 3 gates. The way into the base proper goes through these compound separation corridors, which comprise great defensive positions as well. From here we can enter either the main base or the 2x2 flank bases, which we'll look at first. This is the central 2x2 floor set up for fast loot access. Down here lays the core, which can start out usable, but is then just closed off to become a solid mass of honeycomb. Going back up, we have these peaks to cover the compound. Really nice. And the 3rd floor is just lockers and bags. In Trusting Rust, bags work just the same as beds, so no space wasted. The 4th floor is empty, it's just for added height. And the 5th is the defense floor, so more kits and bags, and opening up to a shooting floor and peek downs. Here I went for these free-handed peaks, which are simple to build and worked wonderfully when defending. Full tutorial link in the description. And I thought those would be enough, but I was wrong, so we quickly added some door peaks behind. And then we have just the, well, my favorite peak, and then the roof exit. And that's basically it for the flank bases. Just simple stuff. You build one, use it to gather initial resources, then you go and build the 2nd, a 3rd, and then we come to the main base. Here we have just a big erect HQM core, add garage doors and honeycomb. Absolutely nothing inside. If this base was a cake, it would be a rocket sponge cake. There is a shooting floor on top though, but nothing complicated. It had to be simple so we can build it fast. This kind of shooting floor I call fake wide gaps, and it's simple as. They don't need wide gap build-outs and build-ins and multi-TC or whatever, just, you know. We did split the shooting floor though in case one side got destroyed or taken over. And here it's just storage beds, and storage beds. The core, as I mentioned, is absolutely completely empty. We also have the simplest roof peaks. And on the roof itself we have 3 bedrooms with more kits and respawns. So basically the whole main base is just respawns and kits so that we can have fun defending. And that's on top of a ton of empty honeycombs so that we can have fun defending for longer. Now regarding the TC, in the event we got this kind of build spot with just a big empty ocean behind the base. And since nobody's gonna attack from that direction, my genius of a teammate Logan suggested we do this. And the TC is accessible through doors and ladder hatches, so completely legal. And that's it, that's the base. Now the upkeep is this much. Okay, but seriously for a second. If we don't build this base, if we just take the same cake base recipe, and then we scale it down a bit, will that work in a wipe? Will it fool everyone? Will it give you extremely fun stress-free raid defense situations where you know they're rocketing nothing? Well, I don't know, but let me tell you a story. So a friend of mine told me about this Korean Zerg he would play with, and they would just decimate a server. The way they built their base is they just built something kinda simple, and then they kept adding honeycomb as the wipe progressed. More and more and more honeycomb. And now I would happily admit that even knowing all I know about building tricks and stuff, I just shoot rockets into center mass. I'm never gonna assume that someone actually built this kind of filth. Now, I'm definitely not saying it's like a new meta or anything. It's stupid, but it works. It was perfect for the competition, which was, by the way, so much fun. Again, thank you HJune, and I hope I get to go outside the base a bit more next year. Anyway, just wanted to share. Have a good one. Good day.